Clayton Kershaw is the greatest Dodger of all time. I'll leave that up to you guys to debate in the comment section. He certainly has the case to be made as the greatest Dodger of all time. Certainly Los Angeles Dodger of all time. Clayton Kershaw will go down as a first ballot Hall of Famer. He will have all of the accolades one pitcher can dream of having, and he's done it all in the game of baseball virtually. I mean, this guy is very well decorated, as we all know. Today's video, I'm going to touch on whether or not the Dodgers are done with Clayton Kershaw. Has he thrown the last pitch as a Dodger? Something that is kind of mind-boggling to think about if you've been watching this guy ever since his call-up, which I basically have. My first memories of baseball and sports in general was like around 2008, and so seeing Clayton Kershaw come up and become a three-time Cy Young winner very early on in his career, an MVP, and later on become a World Series champion. I mean, the guy's done it all, very well decorated, as I mentioned, and he's a very also at the same time controversial pitcher because of his post-season traumas, if you will, post-season mistakes, bad outings, whatever you want to call them. He has not performed as well as he has in the regular season and the postseason. So that's left a bit of a taint on his resume a little bit. Some people don't view him as one of the best of all time because of his postseason withdrawals. It's unfortunate. Whole another topic of discussion as far as his regular season and his postseason records. I could probably dive into that one day when his career is over, but as of right now, I want to talk about the Dodgers right now as they stand, Clayton Kershaw right now as he stands, and kind of take a look back at the last 3 seasons. Clayton Kershaw with the Dodgers. Good little accurate timeline here, the past 3 seasons, past 3 full seasons. That being said, let's get into it. We're going to start off in 2021. So coming off of his first ever World Series championship with the Dodgers in 2020. Limited capacity fans in the stands for the first few months. Clayton Kershaw, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction, really has never had a bad season at all. If you go back and look at his career, he's never had a bad quote-unquote season. In fact, his career ERA is 2.48. Think about that. He's pitched 16 years in the big leagues, and his career ERA is under 2.50. That is just ridiculous. Go back and look at his 21 stats here. He went 10-8, so he wasn't doing too well with the win-loss record, and I feel like that's been a case of some season with Clayton Kershaw where he wouldn't necessarily get the run support that he deserved. It doesn't mean he pitched bad by any means, but there's been seasons with the Dodgers where he just didn't get run support. He did post a 3.55 ERA, one of his highest ERAs to date in his historic tenure, so 3.55 wasn't his best season, but 3.55, that's a pretty good season for pretty much anyone else, really, if you think about it. Pitched 22 games. You're going to notice a trend here with 22 games. He's pretty much averaged about 22 games over the last 3 seasons. He's not going to pitch you 30 starts. So 121 innings in 2021, gave up 15 home runs and allowed 21 walks, en route to posting 144 strikeouts and a 1.019 whip in 2021. So 2021, he was really good with the Dodgers. He's pretty much missed the amount of time over the last 3 years. It's been his back, it's been his shoulder, a couple of other injury bugs Clayton Kershaw has had to deal with, which is why we're having the conversation of why he may be done as a Dodger, but we'll get into that at the end of the video, whether or not I think he will return as a Dodger. And that 2021 Dodger team was pretty good. They were very weak on the bench side of things, but overall that was a stacked lineup. But unfortunately, kind of all fell apart there the last week of the season. And Clayton Kershaw himself also fell apart there in the last week of the season. And the last start of the season against the Brewers, he went out with, I think it was a shoulder injury or elbow inflammation or something like that, forearm inflammation. And he did not pitch in the postseason. In the 2021 postseason, where the Dodgers went to the NLCS, the furthest they have been in the last few years, he did not pitch during that tenure. So he missed the 21 postseason, did not post up a single stat for that season. Then we go over to 2022, where he posted a much better win-loss record of 12-3, en route to a 2.28 ERA. And now this is the thing, like 2.28 ERA is ridiculous. That is up there with the Cy Young conversation. If Clayton Kershaw could just stay healthy, he might have a case for the Cy Young any of these given seasons. And I've talked about it on my podcast more in depth. Go check me out, Dodge into the Ravine. links in the description. Really, really good at limiting runs. And this is the thing though, he's not going to go deep in games. He doesn't go 6, 7 innings. That's not even the Dodger way at all. Whether he could or he can't, Dave Roberts and the Dodgers do not allow him to go past 80 given pitches any given night. And Kershaw will give you about 5 solid innings, keep that ERA nice and low. 126 innings pitched in 2022, 10 home runs given up, 23 walks, 137 strikeouts, 0.992 whips. And Kershaw was really good in 2022. In fact, he made the All-Star team, and he started that All-Star game at Dodger Stadium. If you might recall, it was at Dodger Stadium. He got the nod. I was at that ball game. It was really cool to see that and to experience that live. Starting his first ever All-Star game at Dodger Stadium. Very cool experience to be there. And overall, it was a great season again. Like, pretty similar numbers, but even better than he was in 2021. In the 2022 postseason, though, he did pitch, and I was also at that ball game. And it was a loss in NLDS Game 2 to the San Diego Padres. Clayton Kershaw in that game pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, gave up 3 runs, took the loss in that game, gave up a home run to Manny Machado, walked 1 guy, and struck out 6. In that game, you know what? The Dodgers had a 1-0 lead in that series. You turn it to Kershaw. Kershaw gave the Dodgers a chance to win the game. I'll say that much. Should he be their number 2 guy at this point? You feel pretty confident with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. If you're the Dodgers or you're a Dodger fan, he shouldn't be the top end of rotation guy. He's not that guy anymore. He should not be a top of the rotation guy with the Dodgers. Even though he didn't pitch a bad game, he took the loss in that game. So you guys let me know, was that a bad Clayton Kershaw outing? I don't think it was great. I don't think it was bad. It was so-so. We gave the Dodgers a chance to win. Coming into 2023 now, his latest season, he posted a 2.46 ERA. I said his career ERA is 2.48, so literally right on that mark pretty much. Pitched in 24 games, so in the last 3 seasons, 24 and 22 games in 22 and 21. 131 innings in 2023. Home run numbers and the walk numbers came up quite a bit from the last 2 seasons. He gave up 19 home runs and he walked 40 batters. Nearly doubled that over the last couple of years, comparatively speaking, so you want to just be wary of that going into next year. And he did strike at 137, pretty much on that same pace, the same amount of Ks that he had in 2022, and he posted a 1.063 whip in 2023. How did this postseason start go? Well, that was the last time we saw Clayton Kershaw in a Dodger uniform in a loss to the Diamondbacks. He didn't even last an inning. Did not even last an inning. He got 1 out in that inning. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, and he struck out nobody. So just a very, very nightmarish outing. It was just crushing to watch that because you knew off the bat that this was not going to work out. The moment he threw that first ball, you were like, uh-oh, this is not going good. Like, this is not going good at all. He's not on his game. They charged him with 6 runs. I don't believe he should be charged with 6 runs. James Outman should have caught that baseball, but that's just me. So either way, that was a horrible outing by Clayton Kershaw and one of his worst outings of his postseason career. I've seen a lot of bad Clayton Kershaw outings in the postseason, unfortunately, but I would hate to see him go out like that. Like, that's just not the way a legend should go out. But again, it is a business, and again, you want to have your team in the best position to win. Does Clayton Kershaw give the Dodgers the best chance to win in 2024? I'll tell you what, he's coming off of shoulder surgery, so he's pitching injured down the stretch. He's not going to be ready for opening day. In fact, he said himself he's going to be ready by middle of the summer. I think the Dodgers should in fact bring Clayton Kershaw back. I don't think Clayton Kershaw is going to start when he does come back unless they really need him to. If the Dodgers are dealing with a bunch of injuries, he could find himself in a starting position role if he's built up to do that during the season or during the postseason. I think Clayton Kershaw is good for a bullpen role because the Dodgers left-handed pitching in the bullpen is not good. As of right now, it is not good. They need left-handed pitching. The only left-handed guy I trust down there is going to be Ryan Yarbrough. Caleb Ferguson is a lefty, as is Alex Vesia, and I don't have the utmost confidence in those 2 guys. We have not seen Kershaw come into the bullpen like that often, and so I think Kershaw coming into a bullpen role this year, I think the Dodgers should do that, and I think Kershaw could do that, stay together for yet another year with the Dodgers. You guys let me know in the comment section, should Clayton Kershaw come back to the Dodgers is his time as a Dodger done? I don't see it being done. Like I said, I think the way it's going to go down is exactly what I predicted. I think he'll come back with the Dodgers. I'm not sure if it's a 1 year, 2 year deal, but I think he will be back in 2024 with the Dodgers in a bullpen role. The Dodgers need left-handed pitching. It's been kind of a secret. I have no lefties in the rotation or the bullpen that I really trust, so I think he'll be great in the Dodger bullpen.